All right, what's up, my friends? Welcome. I've been sick. For those who have been not following on social media and stuff, I took a few days off and then got COVID, and I'm still kind of sick. And Nicole and Cassie are still really sick, and we're powering through. So I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in a few days. Just bear with me, all right? So we got Bloomburrow previews coming out, of course. MH3, the ink's still wet. Got to have some new previews, right? But that looks really, really cool. So we're gonna go over a little preview for Bloomburrow right now. Show you some cards, go over the mechanics, and do the usual thing we do. Starting with Offsprings. This is a set all about critters, basically. This is kind of like an animal world. Everything's an animal. Kind of like Disney Fern Gully-esque in some ways, which is kind of cool. Karn's out. Karn's like, I don't even like animals. I'm out of here. And you see here the cards. Obviously, the art's really kind of cool. And kind of a unique world, which is cool to see that still have unique worlds in 30 years of Magic's history. But our first mechanic here is Offspring. So kind of like Kicker, like everything is. 2 mana for a 2/2. It's a mana dork that can grow itself, but the Offspring ability is a Kicker ability where you pay the extra mana, and you get a copy of the creature, but it's a 1/1 because it's it's an Offspring. Just a little dude trying to help out and help Dad do his thing. So kind of a cool card. Obviously, mana dorks are great. The fact that it's a mana dork that can also be relevant in the game is kind of cool. In multiple ways, it can give multiple creatures. I can double ramp you too, which is kind of cool. And 4 mana makes 2 mana in the next turn, which is kind of cool. So that's pretty sweet. We also see War and War Leader here, again with the Offspring ability. 4 mana for a 4/4. This is a Rabbit Knight, and whenever you attack, note that whenever you attack, period, not just with this, you can make a token or pump the team. Pretty powerful card, honestly. As a curve stopper, you just play it, pump the team, attack. And then really cool is when you Offspring this, the Offspring cards, the abilities are the really important part, right? Because the sizing, it's a 1/1, who cares? But the abilities being able to double up is really, really powerful. So for 6 mana, if it's double anthems your team, pretty cool card and a pretty good example of the ability. And look at those little cute little eyes, those cute little rabbit. Next mechanic here is a really cool one. It is called Gift. You ever want to smack your opponent in the face with a fish? Now's your chance. Gift is a mechanic where you give your opponent something. For another kicker kind of effect, honestly, where this is a white for exile target non-token creature, and it's a blink effect unless you gift your opponent a fish, so a tapped token. So you give them a 1/1, and you can exile their creature for white, kind of similar to like Beast Within kind of thing, or you can blink your own things and not gift them things, which is kind of cool. Note it is non-token, so you can't just kill their tokens with this, which is kind of cool as well. But cool mechanic, honestly, not a mechanic we see often as far as like giving your opponent stuff being a drawback, which is kind of cool. So clever mechanic, should be pretty cool and limited, and then probably better constructed also. And you can see here, this is Kidnap. This is a mind control where if you don't give them a card, you stun the creature 3 times. So you steal it, but don't get it for a while. But if you do give them a card, you get mind control, which is pretty cool. So again, kind of a cool balancing mechanic on these cards, which is sweet. Next mechanic is Expend, which basically just means that if you've spent the amount of mana equal to the number, you get an ability. So this is a 2/4 for 3. First main phase, you get a red or green for each raccoon you control. There's a lot of typal stuff happening in the set with the various animal factions, raccoons and bats and rats and stuff. So we'll see more of that. And then whenever you expend 4, means you spend 4 mana in a turn, you gain 3 lives. So I cast 4-drop, gain 3. They can be spending it on creatures or abilities or whatever else, which is kind of cool. You have to spend it. You can't just like tap all your lands or whatever. But so mana sink's gonna be kind of cool and limited. Kind of cool constructor also. The important thing here is, of course, expend 8. Exile top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards at the end of your next turn. So kind of weird because obviously you spent 8 mana already. You can't play the cards probably. You can play them next turn. However, if you just keep playing 2 spells every turn off the top, say you draw 3 cards turn with this and keep spending all your mana to cast spells, you can keep doing it, which is kind of cool. So Expend 8's a big ask, but kind of a cool card. Another mechanic here we see from our squirrels is Forage. Forage simply means to exile 3 cards in your graveyard or sack of food. So it's an additional cost, kind of like Delve, but also a sack of food too. And we see here 3/3 for 3 menace gives your squirrels menace. And you sacrifice 1 or more food, make a squirrel, and then you can forage, but counters on all your squirrels. So again, kind of a typal thing happening here with the various animal factions. We got a kind of a new heroic mechanic here in Valiant. This is a Seed Glove Mentor. They meant it for a 3/2 Vigilance Haste. Not a bad body. It's a Mouse Soldier. And if you give him a Mouse Cookie, Valen is whenever it becomes target of a spell or ability for the first time, do something. This is put a counter on it, so not like Heroic where you can keep powering up on it, but still get the ability. Which is kind of cool, honestly, because like the Heroic decks tend to like become really, really focused on just doing the one thing, which is more of like a cool one-shot effect, which is nice. We got Tidecaller Mentor, a Rat Wizard, the mana for a 3/3 menace, just like the last card. Has Threshold. Threshold returns. Threshold is just a static ability if it's on if you have 7 more cards in your graveyard. So ETB, bounce a thing, kind of cool, good limited card. Then we have this cool one. So we have the Seasons Sorceries. These are all mythic sorceries, 1 for each color. And kind of like a command, where you get to choose different modes, but very, very clever typesetting here. So you may choose 5 paw prints worth of modes. This is not like energy, it's not some new mechanic or whatever. This is basically a clean way to say, hey, you can space these out. So choose 5 paw prints worth of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. So this can be 6 mana, draw 5 cards. Or it can be draw 3 cards and copy an art creature you control. Or it can be bounce all the stuff and draw 2 cards. Or and so on and so forth. Or so you can kind of pick and choose how you want to do things. That's really cool. We typically don't see cards that are this modal. Even the commands weren't this modal, I don't think, as far as like possible modes you can choose. So these are really cool. 1 for each color. And this one's, 6 mana, can do a lot of different things. Just sweet. Just a cool design, honestly. Classes return. They're, the jobs these animals all have. Artist talent, mana for a rare class. When you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Kind of cool. You can level it up for 3 mana, and all your non-creature spells cost 1 less to cast. Level it up again, and if a source you control will deal non-combat damage to opponent or opponent controls, then damage plus 2. So, kind of a cool one as far as maybe a madness outlet for older formats. Kind of a cool card. And then we have just kind of like typo things happening here. So we got the archers, the rabbits. The rabbits are green-white. Where this is an archer vigilance, and you attack, put a counter on your all your rabbits. Cool. We got Valley Quest Caller, which is a 2/3 lord. Jeez. Whenever one or more rabbits, bats, birds, or mice ETB scry 1, and other rabbits, bats, birds, or mice you control can plus them +1. So kind of similar to the party mechanic, where it chooses a bunch of things rather than one thing, which is kind of cool. Valley Rot Caller is also similar. This is a 2 mana 1/3 menace. Whenever it attacks, each opponent loses X and gains X, where X is the number of squirrels, bats, lizards, and rats you control. So kind of the opposite of the Quest Caller. This is kind of like the the bad animals, the rats and the lizards and the bats and stuff. And squirrels got roped into being bad in this set. I don't know why. We got Fire West Mentor, a Lizard Warlock, kind of a Dark Confidant Riff. So for a 2/1. Second main phase, if the opponent lost life this turn, exile top 2, and you can play one of them. Pretty cool, honestly. Cool for an aggro deck. Small body, but Alania Divergent Storm. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. 5 mana for a 3/5. Cast your first spell. If it's an instant, sorcery, or otter, you may have an opponent draw a card or gift an opponent a card. And if you do, you can copy it. Copying spells is pretty powerful. It's kind of cool. So kind of a cool one. Glarb, Calamity's Augur. This is a Sultai, kind of commander plant, legend, frog, wizard, noble, 2/4 death touch. Look top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells, mana value 4 or greater on top of your library, tap to Veil 2. Kind of a cool build around, honestly. And then we have these kind of like elemental forces. So the world of the set that I forgot the name of them I'm talking about because I'm sick. So bear with me, folks. I'm trying. It's all about these little animals, but there are these big kind of elemental forces that they're kind of like they live their world around, and kind of Fern Gully-esque, where Yagura, Eater of Alls, a Golgari 6/6 for 5, ward sack of food. That is not an easy ward cost to pay. Other creatures are food. I guess they're sack creature, but other creatures are food artifacts in addition to other permanents and types. Whenever a food's put into a graveyard, put 2 counters on this. So kind of fun. Everything's food. It's a hunter. You get it? It's a hunter. All you have is a hammer kind of thing. So yeah, kind of a cool one. Obviously, 6/6 that can grow huge for killing things. Kind of cool. We also got Maha, It Feathers Knight, which is a 5 mana 6/5. Flying Trample Ward, discard a card. Pretty powerful. And it gives all your creatures' opponents control base toughness 1. Very powerful effect. Kind of like a weird one. You can like combo with things like Goblin Chain Whirler effects. So you can like just win combats. I don't know. Pretty powerful effect. They're pretty cool card. We got a Planeswalker here in Rawl Cackling Wit. And you're like, wait, Jim, why the hell is Rawl a freaking otter? Well, this is a world where everything's an animal. So if you are a Planeswalker and you come here, or you come from a different place, you will be transformed into an animal. We'll see more of that. So Rawl here. Otter Planeswalker, 4 mana, 4 loyalty. If you cast a non-creature spell but a loyalty counter miss, that's pretty powerful. So prowess add a counter, so cantrip add a counter, bolt add a counter, whatever. Plus 1 to make a prowess token, -3 to draw 3, discard 2, which is very, very powerful. And then the ultimate for 10 is draw 3 and get an emblem, and all your instant sorcerers unless of storm, which is pretty wild, honestly. So that is pretty powerful. Pretty powerful Planeswalker. We'll see how it shakes out in Standard, obviously, but that's a pretty good finisher, right? Just place Lightning Strike, copy it, Storm, copy it. You know, so pretty cool. Wait, what? What are you doing here? So there's a bonus sheet for this set where they reimagined Magic cards in this world as animals. So this Jace is not in Standard, unfortunately. Sorry. But it is in the bonus sheet. It'll be legal unlimited. And then I guess they're coming to arenas here, right? We got Jace the Mind Sculptor in arena. That's pretty cool. And you know what Jace does, obviously. Sword of Fire and Ice also coming to a draft format near you as a special guest. I don't know what the difference between the Imagined Critters sheet is and the special guest sheet is, but someone else who's smarter than me can explain that to you. So, this card's already on arena, but cool limited card. And then the buy a box promo is Flubs the Fool, a really cool card that's freaking not legal in Standard, which I hate. I can't stand if it's like, is this card legal? Oh, I don't know. Song game, you gotta play every single set release, but whatever. Teamer for an 0/5, play an extra line each turn. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, you draw a card. If you have no cards in your hand, otherwise discard a card. So it's kind of like this, gotta keep, play a spell, draw a card, play a spell, draw a card, play a land, draw a card, which I love that kind of effect. So a really cool card. I don't know where you're gonna play it, I guess, aside from a commander, but it's a pretty sweet one. And cool art in this set, cool world building. Really big on this, like, seasonal cycle. You see the basic lands here, you know, the spring, summer, winter, fall kind of stuff. That's kind of sweet. And then that looks really cool. So definitely a cool set. You know, cool art direction, cool kind of a clever world building. Not sure why our poor little bunny rabbit here is not wearing a freaking I don't know, a coat or something in this last frame in winter. You know, put on some pants, man, or a hat or something. It's cold out there. But so that's Bloomburrow looking pretty cool. Obviously, look for me doing all my usual stuff with this set. It's important to note that there's actually no Pro Tour attached to this set, so I have more time to do actual content stuff, which is really, really cool. So look for me to do my usual 10 new brews. We do my set review, Bronze and Mythic, as always. Maybe some extra stuff, too, because I obviously have a little more time to do things. And have a project I'm working on also that I can't talk about, which is really, really exciting. But looks like the set review is going to be on the 19th. The 10 new brews is going to be on the 24th. And the Bronze and Mythic premiere will be on the 30th. So I'll have graphics for that, obviously, coming up soon as well. But look for all that. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Again, thank you for bearing with me. I'm sorry I've been so sick. Nicole and John have been... John's actually his dad. He's been quarantined out of the house. Nicole and Cassian have been really, really sick the last few days. They're, like, barely on the mend. I'm taking care of them, taking care of myself. It's been rough. It's been a rough few days. So, love y'all. Videos will resume starting tomorrow and stuff. And you're all great. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace. How we going?